The child's blood was the wrong color. Kael Thorne had lived 400 years, had seen empires fall and civilizations rise, had tasted the blood of thousands. But when the 9-year-old girl collapsed bleeding in his abandoned castle on Thanksgiving Eve, when her silver eyes met his and she whispered words she had no way of knowing, words about his dead wife, his unborn child, his darkest secret buried for 4 centuries, he felt something he thought he'd killed lifetimes ago. Fear. Because her blood didn't make him hungry. It made him remember. And in the world of the immortal, memory is the cruelest curse of all. She looked up at him, dying, and spoke the truth that should have stayed buried. You left her. You left us. The blood looked black against the marble floor. Kael Thorne stood over the child, his hands trembling in a way they hadn't trembled in 400 years. She was small, maybe 9, her dark hair matted with snow and dirt, her clothes torn. But it was her eyes that stopped his dead heart cold. Silver. Like mirrors. Like his own eyes had been before the turning. She stared up at him, not with fear, but with recognition. Her lips parted, breath shallow, and she whispered words that shattered centuries of carefully built walls. You left her. You left us. The room tilted. Kael stumbled back, his vision fracturing into images he had buried so deep he thought they were gone. Eliza's face. Her hand on her belly. The snow turning red. A baby's heartbeat fading into silence as he ran into the darkness because he was a monster and monsters didn't deserve families. Who are you? His voice cracked, foreign to his own ears. The child coughed, blood on her lips. You know who I am. You've always known. 12 hours earlier, Rowan Winters had stood at a bus stop on the edge of Embers Cross, Washington, watching her mother's taillights disappear into the Thanksgiving Eve fog. The $20 bill her mother had shoved into her hand was already gone, stolen by a man who smelled like gasoline and broken promises. The cold bit through her thin jacket. No one was coming. No one ever came. But in the distance, through the trees, a light flickered. Faint. Gold. Like a candle that refused to go out. Rowan started walking. The Thorne Estate rose from the mountain like a crown of bones. The locals said it had been abandoned for over a century. They said anyone who went inside never came out. They said a lot of things. Rowan didn't care. She was freezing, and the light was warm. She climbed through a shattered window on the east wing, her hands slicing open on the glass. Pain was familiar. Pain was fine. She dropped into a grand hall that smelled like dust and old roses. And then she collapsed. Not from the cold. Not from the cuts. But from the weight of the memories that weren't hers. A man running through snow. A woman screaming a name. A heartbeat, steady and strong, then silent. Guilt so heavy it crushed the air from her lungs. She had been seeing him her whole life. In dreams. In reflections. In the space between sleep and waking. The vampire king who didn't know he had a bloodline. Kael Thorne sat alone in his throne room, staring at nothing. He hadn't felt anything in decades. Hunger was mechanical. Time was irrelevant. Existence was a long, gray corridor with no doors. Then the scent hit him. Blood. But not the kind that made him hungry. This blood made his chest burn. Made his hands shake. Made him feel. He moved through the castle like smoke, following the scent to the great hall. And there she was. Bleeding. Crying softly. A child. He should have drained her. Should have erased the evidence. Should have gone back to his throne and forgotten. But when she opened her eyes, he saw himself. The self he had been. The self he had killed. You left her, she said again, stronger now. Eliza. She waited for you. Every day. Every night. She died waiting. That's impossible. Kael's voice was barely a whisper. I have no bloodline. They all died. Rowan sat up slowly, her small hand pressing against the wound on her side. She had a daughter. Your daughter. The bloodline didn't die. It just forgot you. The air in the room grew thick. Kael's vision sharpened, narrowed, focused on the shape of her face, the curve of her jaw, the way her nose tilted slightly to the left. Eliza's nose. You were lying. Am I? Rowan tilted her head. Then why do I know you used to carve wooden birds for her? Why do I know you sang to her belly every night? Why do I know the last thing you said before you ran was I'm sorry? Kael's knees buckled. He caught himself on a pillar, the stone cracking under his grip. Some secrets are written in blood, Rowan said quietly, her silver eyes locked on his. And blood always speaks. The burn in his chest intensified. Kael gasped, clutching at his ribs. His heart beat. Faint. Impossible. He had no heartbeat. But he felt it. Thump. 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 What are you? He rasped. I'm your reckoning. The room spun. Kael stared at the child, at the blood pooling beneath her, at the undeniable truth in her eyes. He had two choices. End her. End the bloodline. And whatever curse was crawling back into his chest and making him feel human again. Or... He moved before he could think. Scooped her into his arms, her blood hot against his cold skin. She weighed nothing. She weighed everything. He carried her through hidden passageways to a chamber no one had entered in 200 years. Laid her on a bed. Found cloth, water, things he hadn't touched in lifetimes. His hands shook as he cleaned her wounds. She woke as he pressed a bandage to her side. Her eyes found his. Are you going to kill me? She asked. Like you killed them? Kael's jaw tightened. I don't know yet. Liar. Rowan's lips curved into the saddest smile he'd ever seen. You're not going to kill me. You're going to keep me. Because I'm the only thing in 400 years that's made you feel alive. Before he could answer, a sound echoed through the castle. A howl. Long, low. Familiar. Kael's entire body went rigid. No. Not now. Not her. He moved to the door, locked it, his mind racing. Vera Ashcroft. His second in command. She wasn't supposed to return for another week. He turned to Rowan, his voice sharp, urgent. Don't make a sound. If she finds you, we both die. Rowan's eyes widened. Who is she? Footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. Slow. Deliberate. Kael's hand gripped the door handle. The woman who's been waiting 200 years for me to love her back. The footsteps stopped. Right outside the door. A voice, smooth as silk and cold as winter, drifted through the wood. Kael, darling. Your heartbeat is showing. If you've ever kept a secret that could destroy you, drop a comment below. And if you want to know whether Rowan survives the next 3 minutes, make sure you're subscribed, because what happens when Vera opens that door will change everything. Hit that like button if you're already hooked, and stick around. This is just the beginning. Rowan dreamed of snow and screaming. She was running, but the legs weren't hers. They were longer, stronger, male. The voice tearing from her throat wasn't hers either. It was his. Eliza. Eliza, I'm sorry. But Eliza couldn't hear him. She was on her knees in the snow, one hand on her swollen belly, the other reaching toward the forest where he had disappeared. Blood ran from his mouth. His hands. He could still taste the man who had turned him, the rogue vampire who had ambushed him on the road home. He was a monster now. Monsters didn't get to have families. So he ran. And ran. And left her screaming his name into the winter night. Rowan woke gasping, her own tears hot on her face. These weren't dreams. They were his memories, bleeding into her mind through the blood they shared. She pressed a hand to her chest, feeling her heartbeat. Steady. Human. Alive. His had been silent for 400 years. 3 days had passed since Vera's return. 3 days of Kael hiding Rowan in the secret wing, bringing her food in the dead of night, barely speaking. 3 days of Rowan watching him move through the shadows like a ghost, his face carved from stone. But something was changing. She noticed it in the way he paused at doorways, as if catching his breath. The way he pressed a hand to his chest when he thought she wasn't looking. The way his skin, once marble cold, now felt almost warm. He was becoming human again. And it was destroying him. Vera knew something was wrong. She circled Kael like a shark, her dark eyes narrowed, her voice dripping with suspicion. "You've been distracted," she said one evening in the throne room. Rowan listened from the hidden passage, her ear pressed to the crack in the wall. "Your heartbeat is different. Unsteady." "I don't have a heartbeat," Kael replied, his tone flat. "Exactly." Vera stepped closer. "So why do I keep hearing one?" Silence. Then Kael's voice, sharp as a blade. "Leave it alone, Vera. I've been at your side for 2 centuries, Kael. I know when you're lying." Rowan held her breath. "Then perhaps you should learn when to stop asking questions." Vera's laugh was soft, dangerous. "Or perhaps I should find the answers myself." That night, Rowan was restless. She wandered the hidden wing, her fingers trailing over dust-covered furniture, over books older than her bloodline. She found a small sewing kit and tried to repair a tear in her sleeve. The needle slipped. Blood welled from her fingertip, bright and red. The door slammed open. Kael stood in the doorway, his eyes wild, his fangs fully extended for the first time since she had met him. His chest heaved. His hands clenched into fists. "Get out," he snarled. Rowan froze. "What?" "Get out. Now." But he didn't move. Didn't let her pass. He just stood there, staring at her bleeding finger like it was the only thing in the world. She understood. "You've never lost control before," she whispered. "Have you?" "Not in 200 years." His voice was raw, shaking. "Leave. Please." Instead, she stepped closer. "Rowan." A warning. She held up her finger, the blood catching the candlelight. It shimmered. Silver undertones in the red. "This is what's killing you, isn't it?" "My blood." Kael's eyes flickered between red and silver. "It's waking me up. And I don't want to wake up." He turned and fled, the door slamming so hard the frame splintered. Rowan stood alone, watching her blood drip onto the ancient stone floor. Where it landed, it glowed. Faint. Silver. Unnatural. She knelt, touching it with her other hand. The moment her skin made contact, a vision slammed into her. A woman. A portrait. A face identical to her own. Rowan ran. She found the portrait in the East Gallery, hidden under a sheet. She tore it away and stared. The woman in the painting had her eyes, her nose, her mouth. She wore a simple blue dress, one hand resting on her pregnant belly, the other holding a wooden bird. The plaque at the bottom read, Eliza Thorne, 1625. I look like her, Rowan breathed. That's why he can't let me go. That's why he can't kill you either. Rowan spun. Vera stood in the shadows, her arms crossed, her smile cold. How long have you been watching me? Long enough. Vera moved closer, circling her like prey. You're not just some orphan he took pity on, are you? Rowan said nothing. He's been different since you arrived. Weaker. More human. Vera's eyes gleamed. You're the one the old stories warned about. The bloodbound. I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. Vera grabbed Rowan's wrist, examined the cut on her finger. Your blood is changing him. Breaking him. And he's too sentimental to stop it. She released Rowan with a shove. The council will want to know about this. Rowan's heart hammered. You can't tell them. Can't I? Vera smiled. Unless you give me a reason not to. Before Rowan could respond, the gallery door exploded inward. Kael stood there, his eyes blazing red, his voice a growl that shook the paintings on the walls. There's a human in this castle, Vera said coolly. You're breaking the covenant. Kael stepped forward, and the temperature dropped 10 degrees. She's mine. Touch her and I'll end you. Vera's smile widened. My. The great Kael Thorne, threatening his oldest ally over a human child. She tilted her head. The council will find this fascinating. Vera. 3 days, Kael. I'll give you 3 days to decide what she's worth to you. Your throne, your immortality, your entire world. She walked to the door, paused. Or her life. She vanished into the night. The silence that followed was deafening. Kael turned to Rowan, his face unreadable. We have 3 days before they come for you. Rowan's voice was small. What happens in 3 days? Kael looked at the portrait of Eliza. At the girl who wore her face. I lose you. One way or another. Have you ever been someone's secret and their salvation at the same time? Drop a comment if you know what that feels like. If you want to see whether Kael chooses his throne or the girl who's unraveling everything he's built, stay right here. Things are about to get darker. Like this video if your heart is already racing. Rowan dreamed of snow and screaming. She was running, but the legs weren't hers. They were longer, stronger, male. The voice tearing from her throat wasn't hers either. It was his. Eliza. Eliza, I'm sorry. But Eliza couldn't hear him. She was on her knees in the snow, one hand on her swollen belly, the other reaching toward the forest where he had disappeared. Blood ran from his mouth. His hands. He could still taste the man who had turned him, the rogue vampire who had ambushed him on the road home. He was a monster now. Monsters didn't get to have families. So he ran. And ran. And left her screaming his name into the winter night. Rowan woke gasping, her own tears hot on her face. These weren't dreams. They were his memories. Bleeding into her mind through the blood they shared. She pressed a hand to her chest, feeling her heartbeat. Steady. Human. Alive. His had been silent for 400 years. 3 days had passed since Vera's return. 3 days of Kael hiding Rowan in the secret wing, bringing her food in the dead of night, barely speaking. 3 days of Rowan watching him move through the shadows like a ghost, his face carved from stone. But something was changing. She noticed it in the way he paused at doorways, as if catching his breath. The way he pressed a hand to his chest when he thought she wasn't looking. The way his skin, once marble cold, now felt almost warm. He was becoming human again. And it was destroying him. Vera knew something was wrong. She circled Kael like a shark, her dark eyes narrowed, her voice dripping with suspicion. "You've been distracted," she said one evening in the throne room. Rowan listened from the hidden passage, her ear pressed to the crack in the wall. "Your heartbeat is different. Unsteady." "I don't have a heartbeat," Kael replied, his tone flat. "Exactly." Vera stepped closer. "So why do I keep hearing one?" Silence. Then Kael's voice, sharp as a blade. "Leave it alone, Vera. I've been at your side for 2 centuries, Kael. I know when you're lying." Rowan held her breath. "Then perhaps you should learn when to stop asking questions." Vera's laugh was soft, dangerous. "Or perhaps I should find the answers myself." That night, Rowan was restless. She wandered the hidden wing, her fingers trailing over dust-covered furniture, over books older than her bloodline. She found a small sewing kit and tried to repair a tear in her sleeve. The needle slipped. Blood welled from her fingertip, bright and red. The door slammed open. Kael stood in the doorway, his eyes wild, his fangs fully extended for the first time since she had met him. His chest heaved. His hands clenched into fists. "Get out," he snarled. Rowan froze. "What?" "Get out. Now." But he didn't move. Didn't let her pass. He just stood there, staring at her bleeding finger like it was the only thing in the world. She understood. "You've never lost control before," she whispered. "Have you?" "Not in 200 years." His voice was raw, shaking. "Leave. Please." Instead, she stepped closer. "Rowan." A warning. She held up her finger, the blood catching the candlelight. It shimmered. Silver undertones in the red. "This is what's killing you, isn't it?" "My blood." Kael's eyes flickered between red and silver. "It's waking me up. And I don't want to wake up." He turned and fled, the door slamming so hard the frame splintered. Rowan stood alone, watching her blood drip onto the ancient stone floor. Where it landed, it glowed. Faint. Silver. Unnatural. She knelt, touching it with her other hand. The moment her skin made contact, a vision slammed into her. A woman. A portrait. A face identical to her own. Rowan ran. She found the portrait in the East Gallery, hidden under a sheet. She tore it away and stared. The woman in the painting had her eyes, her nose, her mouth. She wore a simple blue dress, one hand resting on her pregnant belly, the other holding a wooden bird. The plaque at the bottom read, Eliza Thorne, 1625. "I look like her," Rowan breathed. "That's why he can't let me go. That's why he can't kill you either." Rowan spun. Vera stood in the shadows, her arms crossed, her smile cold. "How long have you been watching me?" "Long enough." Vera moved closer, circling her like prey. "You're not just some orphan he took pity on, are you?" Rowan said nothing. "He's been different since you arrived. Weaker. More human." Vera's eyes gleamed. "You're the one the old stories warned about. The bloodbound." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Liar." Vera grabbed Rowan's wrist, examined the cut on her finger. Your blood is changing him, breaking him, and he's too sentimental to stop it." She released Rowan with a shove. "The council will want to know about this." Rowan's heart hammered. "You can't tell them." "Can't I?" Vera smiled. "Unless you give me a reason not to." Before Rowan could respond, the gallery door exploded inward. Kael stood there, his eyes blazing red, his voice a growl that shook the paintings on the walls. "There's a human in this castle," Vera said coolly. "You're breaking the covenant." Kael stepped forward, and the temperature dropped 10 degrees. "She's mine. Touch her and I'll end you." Vera's smile widened. My. The great Kael Thorne, threatening his oldest ally over a human child. She tilted her head. "The council will find this fascinating." Vera. 3 days, Kael. "I'll give you 3 days to decide what she's worth to you. Your throne, your immortality, your entire world." She walked to the door, paused. "Or her life." She vanished into the night. The silence that followed was deafening. Kael turned to Rowan, his face unreadable. "We have 3 days before they come for you." Rowan's voice was small. "What happens in 3 days?" Kael looked at the portrait of Eliza. At the girl who wore her face. "I lose you. One way or another." Have you ever been someone's secret and their salvation at the same time? Drop a comment if you know what that feels like. If you want to see whether Kael chooses his throne or the girl who's unraveling everything he's built, stay right here. Things are about to get darker. Like this video if your heart is already racing. 6 years later. The girl who bled silver was gone. In her place stood something harder, colder, sharper. Rowan was 15 now, and she hadn't spoken to Kael in 3 months. She trained in the courtyard every morning before dawn, her movements fast and brutal. Vera watched from the shadows, coaching her, shaping her, whispering things that sounded like truth. "Faster. You're still too human. Again. Stop holding back. Good. Now you're starting to look like a killer." Kael watched from his tower window, his chest aching with something that felt too much like grief. His heart beat regularly now, steady and human and unbearably lonely. He was aging. Slowly, but visibly. Lines had begun to form at the corners of his eyes. His hair, once pure black, now carried threads of silver. He was dying in reverse. Becoming the man he'd been 400 years ago. And Rowan wouldn't even look at him. It had been 8 months since she found the ledger. Kael kept records. He always had. Every life he'd taken. Every name. Every face. Centuries of blood cataloged in leather-bound books hidden in the vault beneath the castle. She wasn't supposed to find them. But Vera had made sure she did. Rowan had been searching for blankets when she discovered the hidden door. The vault. The rows and rows of ledgers. She'd opened one at random. 1987, Seattle, Washington. Winters family. Father, mother, teenage son. Witnesses to a feeding. Eliminated to protect the covenant. Her hands had shaken so violently the book fell. Winters. Her family name. Her grandparents. Kael had killed them 36 years ago without ever knowing their granddaughter would one day carry his blood. When she'd confronted him, he hadn't denied it. "I didn't know," was all he said. "I didn't know they were yours." Would it have mattered? Her voice had been ice. The silence that followed told her everything. She moved to the opposite wing that night. Vera helped her carry her things. "He's a monster," Vera whispered, her arm around Rowan's shoulders. "He's always been a monster. You were just too young to see it." "I'm not young anymore." "No, you're not." Vera smiled. "You're strong now. Powerful. You could be so much more than his guilt project." Over the following months, Vera taught her things Kael never would. How to move without sound. How to compel weak-minded humans. How to kill. And every night, Vera brought her a vial of dark liquid. "Just a drop," she'd say. "To strengthen you. To protect you from the change." Rowan drank it. Every night. She didn't know it was Kael's blood until it was too late. By then, she could hear heartbeats from 100 yards away. Could see in complete darkness. Could move faster than any human should. She was becoming something new. Neither human nor vampire. Something in between. And Vera had plans for what that something could do. "The winter solstice is in 3 days, Vera said one December evening. They stood in the armory, surrounded by weapons Rowan now knew how to use. "It's when he's weakest. When the blood-bound curse is strongest." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you could end him." Vera placed a silver stake in Rowan's hand. "You could free yourself. Take back everything he stole from you." Rowan stared at the stake. "He didn't steal anything from me." "Didn't he?" Vera's voice was soft, poisonous. "He killed your grandparents. He's slowly turning you into a monster. He's kept you prisoner here for 6 years." "I'm not a prisoner." "Then why haven't you left?" The question hung in the air like smoke. Rowan closed her fingers around the stake. "What would I have to do?" Vera's smile was terrible and beautiful. "Get close to him. Make him trust you again. And when his guard is down, finish what the curse started. And if I can't, then you'll die human. And he'll live forever with the memory of another woman he failed to save." The words hit like a physical blow. "I trusted you with my humanity," Rowan whispered. "He trusted me with his hunger. We both lost. Then take something back." Christmas Eve arrived cold and silent. The castle was decorated for the first time in centuries. Kael's doing. He'd spent days hanging evergreen garlands, lighting candles, trying to create something that felt like the holidays he remembered from his human life. Trying to create something Rowan might come out of her wing to see. She did. She appeared in the great hall at sunset, wearing a dark red dress Vera had given her. Her hair was loose, her eyes carefully neutral. Kael stood near the fireplace, and the hope that flickered across his face nearly broke her resolve. "Rowan. Merry Christmas, Kael." The words sounded wrong in her mouth. Rehearsed. But Kael didn't seem to notice. Or maybe he was too desperate to care. "I wasn't sure you'd come. I wanted to talk." She stepped closer. "I've been angry. I've been cruel. But I've had time to think. About forgiveness." The word tasted like ash. About what Eliza would want. Kael's breath caught. "Rowan, you don't have to. Dance with me." The request clearly stunned him. "What? You danced with Eliza, didn't you? On Christmas?" She held out her hand. "Dance with me." Kael stared at her hand like it might disappear. Then, slowly, carefully, he took it. His hand was warm now. Human. Trembling. They moved across the floor, the only sound the crackle of the fire and the whisper of fabric. Kael hadn't danced in 400 years, but his body remembered. His hand on her waist. Her head against his chest. His heartbeat. Strong. Steady. Real. Rowan felt the silver stake hidden in the folds of her dress. "I'm sorry," Kael whispered into her hair. "For all of it. For your grandparents. For the blood. For keeping you here when you deserved the world." Rowan's hand found the stake. "I forgive you," she said. Kael pulled back to look at her, and she saw it then. Tears. Actual tears running down his face. "You don't have to say that. I mean it." Her hand tightened on the stake. "I forgive you." He smiled, broken and beautiful and utterly unprepared for what came next. Rowan pulled the stake from her dress and drove it toward his heart. It stopped an inch from his chest. Her hand wouldn't move. Wouldn't complete the motion. She pushed harder, her whole body shaking, but the stake stayed suspended in the air between them. "I can't," she gasped. "I can't do it." Kael caught her wrist gently. "I know. I've always known." "Then why didn't you stop me?" "Because you needed to choose." He lowered her hand carefully, his thumb brushing over her knuckles. "And you just did." Rowan collapsed against him, sobbing, the stake clattering to the floor. "I hate you," she choked out. "I hate what you've done. I hate what you're making me become." "I know. But I can't kill you." "I know that too." A slow clap echoed through the hall. They both turned. Vera stood in the shadows, a crossbow aimed directly at Kael's chest. "How touching," she said. "Really? I almost feel bad about this." Kael moved in front of Rowan instantly. "Vera, don't. If you won't kill him, I will." Vera's finger moved to the trigger. "And then I'll take his throne. His power. Everything he's hoarded for centuries." "You've been planning this the whole time," Rowan breathed. "Of course I have. Why do you think I brought you here?" Vera's smile was cold. "Your mother didn't abandon you randomly, sweet girl. I paid her $3,000 to leave you at that bus stop. I've been orchestrating this for 9 years." Kael's voice was pure venom. "I'll end you. You'll try." Vera aimed for his heart. "Goodbye, my king." She fired. Rowan moved without thinking. She threw herself in front of Kael, her arms spread wide. The arrow hit her square in the chest. The pain was instant. Burning. Wrong. She looked down and saw the black liquid seeping from the wound. Poison. Vampire poison. Kael caught her as she fell, his scream tearing through the castle like a dying star. "No. No, 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 Rowan, stay with me." Her vision blurred. Her heartbeat stuttered. The last thing she saw before the darkness took her was Kael's face, twisted in agony, his tears falling on her cheeks like rain. And the last thing she heard was Vera's laughter fading into the night. She saved the monster who killed her family. Drop a comment if that makes sense to you, because I'm not sure it makes sense to her either. If you think this is tragic now, just wait until you see what Kael has to do to bring her back. Hit that like button if your heart just shattered, and don't go anywhere, because the choice he makes next will damn them both. The arrow had been laced with nightshade and vampire venom. A combination designed to kill anything caught between human and immortal. Rowan was dying. Kael carried her to his chamber, his hands slick with her blood. It was darker now, almost black, the silver undertones fading with each labored breath she took. "Stay with me," he begged, laying her on his bed. "Rowan, please." Her eyes fluttered open, unfocused. It burns. I know. I know. He pressed his hands to the wound, trying to stop the bleeding, but it poured through his fingers like water through a broken dam. He had two choices. Let her die human. Let her go peacefully, the way she deserved. Or turn her. Make her the monster he'd spent 6 years trying to protect her from becoming. Don't, Rowan whispered, reading his face. Don't you dare let me die. You don't know what you're asking. I've been halfway dead my whole life. She coughed, blood on her lips. At least this way I choose. You'll lose everything. Your humanity. Your warmth. Your heartbeat. I already lost those things. Her hand found his, weak but determined. The moment I drank your blood. The moment I chose to save you. I've been turning for months, Kael. We both know it. He closed his eyes, agony ripping through him. I won't do it. I won't make you what I am. Then I'll die hating you for being a coward twice. The words hit like a blade. Before he could respond, a bell tolled in the distance. Deep. Resonant. Final. The council. They were coming. Kael's head snapped up. No. Not now. How long? Rowan's breathing was getting shallower. An hour. Maybe less. His mind raced. The council would execute him for killing one of their own. They'd drain Rowan for her blood-bound power. Everything would end in blood and ash. Unless... There's another way, he said suddenly. What? A reversal ritual. You can give me your forgiveness freely. Willingly. It will complete the blood-bound reckoning. His words came faster now, desperate. You'll save me. Make me fully human. But the cost. What cost? Your memories. Everything. You'll forget me. Forget all of this. You'll wake up human and whole, and I'll be nothing but a stranger. Rowan stared at him. And you'll be human? Mortal? Yes. Then they can't kill you for breaking vampire law. Rowan, you won't remember. I don't care. She tried to sit up, gasped in pain. Tell me how. Kael wanted to argue. Wanted to scream. But the bell tolled again, closer now. They were out of time. He pulled an ancient book from beneath his bed, hands shaking as he flipped through pages. Found the ritual. Read the words that would erase him from her mind forever. You have to say it, he said, his voice breaking. You have to forgive me and mean it. Completely. No reservations. Rowan nodded. Kael took her hand, placed it over his heart. Began to speak the old words, the binding words, the words that would sever their bond and free them both. Light began to glow beneath her palm. Silver. Bright. Pure. His heartbeat grew stronger, steadier, fully human. Rowan's eyes started to glaze, her memories beginning to fade. Kael? Her voice was small, confused. What's happening? It's okay. You're safe. I feel like I'm forgetting something important. Tears streamed down his face. It's okay. Let it go. There was a man. He left someone. She waited for him. Rowan's eyes filled with tears she didn't understand. Why didn't he come back? Because he was afraid. That's sad. Yes. It is. The light grew brighter. Kael felt his fangs retract fully, permanently. Felt warmth flood his body. Felt the sun's touch become possible again. He was human. And she was forgetting him. "Who are you?" Rowan whispered. Kael opened his mouth to answer, to let her go, to finish what he'd started. But then he saw it. The wound on her chest. The poison spreading. She was still dying. The ritual was saving him, but it wasn't healing her. She'd be human again. Free of him. Free of the bond. And dead within the hour. "No," he snarled. He grabbed her face, forced her to look at him. "Rowan, listen to me. Stop the ritual." "What ritual?" "Focus. Remember. Fight it." "I don't understand." The light was nearly blinding now. His transformation almost complete. Another 30 seconds and it would be irreversible. Kael made a choice. He bit into his own wrist, deep and vicious, and pressed it to her mouth. "Drink." "What?" "Drink, damn you." The blood hit her tongue and the ritual shattered like glass. The light exploded outward, then sucked back into her chest. Rowan's eyes went wide, then rolled back. Her memories slammed back into her all at once. Every moment. Every word. Every touch. And with them came his blood. His power. His curse. Kael held her as her body convulsed. As her heart stopped, stuttered, stopped again. As her human life ended and something else began. "I'm sorry," he whispered into her hair. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Her heart gave one final beat. Then silence. Kael sat there, holding her body, waiting for the transformation to complete or for death to take her permanently. He didn't know which one he was praying for anymore. Minutes passed like hours. Then her chest moved. A breath. Unnecessary but instinctive. Her eyes opened. They were red. Fully, completely red. No silver. No humanity. Just crimson and hunger and newborn power. She sat up slowly, her movements sharp and predatory. Looked at her hands. At the wound on her chest that was already closing. "What did you do?" Her voice was different. Layered. Dangerous. "I couldn't let you go." Rowan turned to him, and there was something ancient in her young face. "I was going to save you. I'd rather have you hate me forever than forget me." She stared at him, processing, feeling the change in her body. The strength. The silence where her heartbeat used to be. The hunger curling in her belly like a living thing. "I'm a monster now." "Yes. Because of you." "Yes." She should have been furious. Should have killed him where he sat. Instead, she started to laugh. Sharp. Bitter. Unhinged. "You really can't stop ruining the women in your bloodline, can you?" Before Kael could respond, the doors to the chamber exploded inward. Vera stood at the head of a group of 12 vampires. Council members. Enforcers. Executioners. "Kael Thorne," Vera announced, her smile triumphant. "You are charged with murdering a council member, breaking the covenant, and harboring the bloodbound. The sentence is final death." The vampires spread out, surrounding them. Kael stood slowly, placing himself between Rowan and the others. He was human now. Mortal. Breakable. He would die in the next 60 seconds. Rowan rose behind him. The vampires paused, sensing something off about her. Something new. She stepped around Kael, her red eyes blazing, her voice cold and clear and absolutely fearless. "You want him?" The newly transformed girl faced down 12 ancient vampires without a trace of fear. "Go through me." Vera's smile faltered. Because the power radiating off Rowan wasn't normal vampire strength. It was something else. Something born from 400 years of curse and 6 years of blood bond and one impossible choice. She was bloodbound and newborn and absolutely furious. And she had nothing left to lose. Ever watched someone become the monster to save the man who made them one? Comment if you saw that coming, because I guarantee you didn't see what she does next. Hit that like button if you're on Rowan's side now, and don't you dare go anywhere, because the fight that's about to happen will rewrite every rule the vampire world has. This is where the prey becomes the predator. The first vampire lunged. Rowan moved without thinking. Her hand shot out, caught him by the throat mid-leap, and slammed him into the stone floor so hard the marble cracked like ice. She stared at her hand, surprised by her own strength. The vampire turned to ash beneath her fingers. Silence. Then chaos. 3 vampires attacked at once. Rowan spun, her movements liquid and impossibly fast. She caught the first by the wrist, twisted until bones snapped, then used his body as a shield against the second. The third came from behind, fangs aiming for her neck. She ducked, grabbed a broken piece of marble from the floor, and drove it through his chest in one fluid motion. Ash exploded across the room. Kael watched in horror. This wasn't vampire strength. This was something else entirely. Something wrong and beautiful and terrifying. Rowan stood in the center of the carnage, her red eyes blazing, her dress torn and splattered with blood that evaporated into smoke. "Is that all?" Her voice echoed strangely, as if 2 people were speaking at once. Vera's expression had shifted from triumph to uncertainty. "She's newly turned. She shouldn't be this strong." "She's not just a vampire," one of the council members breathed. "She's bloodbound. The curse made her something new." Rowan tilted her head, and the movement was predatory, alien. "I can hear your heartbeats. All of them. Like drums. Like thunder." She smiled, and it was Kael's smile, ancient and cold. "I'm so hungry." Kael stepped forward. "Rowan, listen to me. Stay back." She didn't look at him. "I can hear yours too. It's louder than theirs. Sweeter." His blood ran cold. "You're in control. You can fight this." "Can I?" She finally turned to him, and there was desperation beneath the hunger. "Because all I want to do is tear them apart. And you. Especially you. You smell like everything I've ever wanted." A council member made the mistake of moving. Rowan was on him in a heartbeat, her fangs sinking into his throat. She drank deep, fast, violent. The vampire tried to fight back, but she was stronger. So much stronger. When she dropped his corpse, her mouth was stained red, her eyes wild. "More," she whispered. Kael's voice cracked. "Rowan, stop. This isn't you. Isn't it?" She laughed, sharp and broken. "You made me this. You poured your blood into me for 6 years. Fed me your darkness bit by bit. Did you think I'd wake up angelic?" 4 more vampires rushed her. She met them head on. The fight was brutal. Visceral. Rowan moved like water and struck like lightning. She ripped through them with her bare hands, her newfound strength overwhelming centuries of their experience. But with each kill, Kael saw it. The way her hands shook afterward. The way her eyes flickered between red and silver. The way she whispered "I'm sorry" so quietly only he could hear. She was losing herself. Vera watched it all with calculating eyes. Then she smiled. Interesting. The bloodbound curse didn't just turn her vampire. It's making her unstable, uncontrollable. She addressed the remaining vampires. Stand down. They hesitated, then obeyed. Rowan stood alone in the center of the room, surrounded by ash and blood, her chest heaving with breaths she didn't need. Smart move, Vera said, circling her slowly. Let her burn herself out. Newly turned vampires always lose control. And when she does, when she inevitably kills the one person she's trying to protect, the curse will consume her from the inside. Kael's heart hammered. You were wrong. Am I? Look at her, Kael. Really look. Vera gestured to Rowan. She's already falling apart. It was true. Rowan's skin had taken on a strange pallor. Dark veins were spreading across her neck, her face. Her hands trembled violently. What's happening to me? Rowan gasped. Kael moved toward her. The transformation isn't complete. Your body is fighting itself. Human blood and vampire blood and cursed blood all at war. Make it stop. I don't know how. Vera's voice was silken poison. I do. They both turned to her. The bloodbound reckoning was never meant to be interrupted, Vera explained. You stopped the ritual midway. She's caught between states. Not human, not vampire, not anything stable. How do we fix it? Kael demanded. You can't. She'll tear herself apart within the hour. Vera's smile widened. Unless she completes what you started. Unless she chooses. Fully human or fully vampire. Life or death. But she can't be both. Rowan fell to her knees, pain lancing through her. Her veins were turning black, spreading like cracks in glass. Kael was at her side instantly. What do you need? Tell me. I need to feed. Her voice was desperate. Really feed. Or I need to die. Those are my options. Then feed. On what? On who? She looked up at him with eyes that flickered between red and silver. The only heartbeat I want is yours, and if I start, I won't be able to stop. The truth hung between them like a blade. If she fed on him, she'd become fully vampire. Strong. Immortal. Alive. And he would die. If she refused, she'd tear herself apart trying to stay human. Either way, one of them wouldn't survive the next hour. Do it, Kael said quietly. No. Rowan. I already took your humanity. I'm not taking your life. Tears streamed down her face, red as blood. I won't be the thing that ends you. You won't be. You'll be the thing that saves me. He pulled her close, his hand cradling her face. For 400 years, I've been dead. You made me feel alive. If my life ends giving you eternity, that's not tragedy. That's grace. I can't. You have to. He tilted his head, exposing his throat. I'm giving you permission. I'm giving you forgiveness. Take it. Rowan sobbed, her fangs aching, her body screaming for his blood. Vera watched with dark satisfaction. How poetic. The bloodline finally gets its revenge. Kael ignored her, his eyes locked on Rowan's. It's okay. I'm ready. Rowan's fangs extended fully. She leaned in, her breath cold against his neck. Then stopped. No. She pulled back, her whole body shaking. There's another way. There has to be. There isn't. Then I'll find one. She stood, unsteady but determined. I'm not your redemption, Kael. I'm not your sacrifice. I'm not the end of your guilt. She turned to face Vera and the remaining council members. You want to see unstable? You want to see what the bloodbound curse really made? Power radiated off her in waves. The temperature in the room dropped. The candles flickered and died. The very air seemed to bend around her. I'm neither human nor vampire. I'm both and neither, and something you don't have a name for yet. Her voice echoed with authority. And I'm done being everyone's victim. The windows exploded outward. Rowan screamed, and the sound shattered every piece of glass in the castle. The remaining vampires fell to their knees, hands over their ears. Even Vera stumbled back. But the power was consuming Rowan from the inside. The black veins spread further. Her skin began to crack like porcelain. She was dying. Burning out. The curse devouring itself. Kael struggled to his feet. Rowan, stop. You're killing yourself. I know. Her smile was sad and beautiful and absolutely broken. But at least I choose how I go. She raised her hand toward Vera, and the vampire who had orchestrated everything found herself lifted off the ground by an invisible force. You used me. Used my mother. Used my pain. Rowan's hand clenched into a fist. You turned my whole life into a weapon. Vera gasped, her throat constricting. You kill me, the entire vampire world will hunt you. Let them. Rowan's eyes blazed pure silver now, the red completely gone. I'll be dead in an hour anyway. Rowan, don't. Kael's voice was hoarse. This isn't you. You don't know what I am anymore. I don't even know what I am. Her hand tightened. Vera's body began to crack, ash spreading from her extremities inward. Wait, Vera choked out. There's a way. A way to stabilize you. Rowan hesitated. What way? The original bloodbound. The one who cursed Kael. Vera's words came in gasps. She's still alive. Still in these mountains. She can complete the transformation properly. Make you whole. You are lying. I'm not. I swear it. Fear, real fear, flickered in Vera's eyes. Her name is Mora. She lives in the caves north of here. She's the only one who can save you. Rowan looked at Kael. Is she telling the truth? His face was pale. I don't know. I thought the witch was dead. She's not, Vera gasped. Please. Let me go. I'll take you to her. Rowan held her suspended for another long moment. Then released her. Vera collapsed, coughing. You have until dawn, Rowan said. Take us to the witch, or I'll finish what I started. Vera nodded, trembling. The council members fled without another word, leaving ash and blood and broken glass behind. Rowan swayed on her feet. Kael caught her before she fell. I've got you. Do you? She looked up at him, and her eyes were fading. Silver dimming. Because I think I'm disappearing. The black veins had spread to her face. Her hands. Her skin was cracking at the edges, ash beginning to form. We'll find the witch. She'll fix this. And if she can't? Kael held her tighter. Then we'll face it together. You're human now. Mortal. You could run. Live a normal life. Not without you. Rowan laughed weakly. We're really bad at letting each other go, aren't we? The worst. She rested her head against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. The only heartbeat in the room. Kael? Yeah. If I don't make it to dawn, I need you to know something. Don't. I forgive you. Really forgive you. Not because of the curse or the ritual or because I have to. She tilted her face up to his. Because you stayed. When everyone else left, you stayed. Kael kissed her forehead, his tears falling into her hair. You are going to make it. Promise? He couldn't. They both knew it. Outside, the sky began to lighten. Dawn was 3 hours away. Rowan had maybe 2. Vera stood at the door, her expression unreadable. We need to go now. The caves are an hour north, and she's not easy to find. Kael lifted Rowan into his arms. She weighed nothing. She weighed the world. Then let's go meet the woman who started all of this. As they left the castle, snow began to fall. Soft. Silent. Beautiful. Rowan watched the flakes dissolve on her cracking skin and wondered if she'd live long enough to see them land. She became a monster to save a king, and now she's dying because she's too human to survive it. Drop a comment if you think the witch can actually save her, or if this is just Vera's final play. Smash that like button if you're barely breathing right now, and stay locked in, because the next hour will either break the curse or break them both. The end is coming, and I promise you, it's not what you think. The caves were older than memory itself. Rowan could barely see anymore. Her vision faded in and out, the world reduced to fragments. Kael's heartbeat. The crunch of snow. The sound of her own body slowly turning to ash. She was dying. And everyone knew it. Vera led them deeper into the mountain, through passages so narrow Kael had to turn sideways. His human body struggled with the cold, the altitude, the fear. Rowan felt none of it. The curse had numbed her to everything except the growing certainty that she wouldn't make it out of these caves alive. How much further? Kael's voice was tight with desperation. We're here, Vera said. The passage opened into a massive cavern lit by hundreds of candles that seemed to burn without melting. In the center, sitting on a throne carved from bone, was a woman who looked barely 30 but whose eyes held centuries. Mora. The witch who had cursed Kael 400 years ago. She stood as they entered, her gaze moving from Kael to Rowan with something like curiosity. Well, she said, her voice like wine through dead leaves. The coward returns. And he brought his reckoning with him. Kael lowered Rowan gently to the ground, but kept one hand on her shoulder. You cursed me. You said my bloodline would be my salvation or my doom. I did. She's dying because of it. Fix her. Mora walked closer, studying Rowan with detached interest. Fascinating. You interrupted the ritual. Created something that shouldn't exist. She tilted Rowan's chin up. How do you feel, child? Like I'm being torn in half, Rowan whispered. Because you are. Human blood and vampire blood and cursed blood, all fighting for dominance. Your body doesn't know what to be, so it's choosing to be nothing. Can you save her? Kael demanded. Mora smiled. Can I? Yes. Will I? That depends. On what? On whether she wants to be saved. Rowan's laugh was bitter. Why wouldn't I want to live? Because living means choosing, Mora said. And you've spent your whole life having choices made for you. Your mother chose to abandon you. Vera chose to use you. Kael chose to turn you. She knelt in front of Rowan. This is the first real choice you've ever had. So choose. Human or vampire? Mortality or eternity? Love or freedom? Those aren't the same thing, Rowan said weakly. Aren't they? Mora glanced at Kael. He's human now. Mortal. If you become fully vampire, you'll watch him age and die while you stay frozen. If you become human, you'll be weak, vulnerable, everything you've spent 6 years learning not to be. Rowan's vision blurred. She looked at Kael, really looked at him. Saw the gray in his hair. The lines around his eyes. The mortality settling into his bones. What do you want? She asked him. I want you to live. However that looks. That's not an answer. Kael knelt beside her, taking her crumbling hand in his. I've had 400 years. You've had 15. If you choose humanity, we'll have maybe 50 years together. If you choose immortality, you'll have forever, even if I'm not in it. You want me to choose forever without you? I want you to choose yourself for once. Tears streamed down Rowan's face, red and silver mixed together. I don't know how. Mora stood. Then you'll die in the next 10 minutes, and the choice will be made for you. Vera, who had been silent in the shadows, finally spoke. There's a third option. Isn't there, Mora? The witch's expression shifted. Clever girl. Kael's head snapped up. What third option? The curse was always about balance, Mora explained. He abandoned his bloodline, so his bloodline would judge him. But the curse doesn't specify how that judgment manifests. She looked at Rowan. You can forgive him and make him human. You can condemn him and turn him to ash. Or you can share the burden. What does that mean? It means you both become something in between. Neither human nor vampire. Something new. You'd be bound together, literally. Your lives tied. Your deaths tied. You'd age slowly, live perhaps 200 years instead of forever. You'd have power, but not immortality. Strength, but not invincibility. Rowan's breath caught. We'd both be cursed. You'd both be free, Mora corrected. The blood-bound reckoning would be complete. The debt paid. But you'd belong to each other in ways that go beyond choice. Kael's grip on Rowan's hand tightened. No. She deserves better than being chained to me. Does she? Mora's smile was knowing. Or does she deserve to decide for herself? Rowan looked at Kael. At the man who had killed her grandparents. Who had kept her prisoner. Who had turned her into a monster. Who had also stayed when everyone else left. Who had taught her to read by candlelight. Who had danced with her on Christmas Eve. Who had been willing to die so she could live. I spent my whole life being abandoned, she said quietly. By my mother. By every foster family. By everyone who was supposed to stay. Rowan. Let me finish. She squeezed his hand. You're a monster. You've done terrible things. You'll never be able to undo them. Kael's face crumbled. But you stayed. When it would have been easier to kill me, to let me die, to walk away, you stayed. She looked at Mora. I choose the third option. I choose the bond. You'll be tied to him forever. Good. I'm tired of people leaving. Mora's expression softened, just slightly. And you, Kael Thorne? Do you accept the bond? Accept that her life is your life, her death is your death, her choices are your consequences? Kael looked at Rowan, at the girl who had become his reckoning and his redemption, and he saw it clearly for the first time. She wasn't Eliza. Wasn't his second chance. Wasn't his guilt made flesh. She was herself. Broken and fierce and choosing him anyway. I accept, he whispered. Maura raised her hands. Then let the blood-bound reckoning be complete. Not in forgiveness. Not in condemnation. But in balance. Light exploded from her palms, silver and gold and crimson all mixed together. It slammed into Rowan and Kael simultaneously, lifting them off the ground. Rowan screamed as the curse rewrote itself in her bones. The black veins receded. The cracks in her skin sealed. Her heart, silent for hours, stuttered once, twice, then beat. Slow. Steady. Real. Kael gasped as power flooded back into him. Not vampire strength, but something else. Something shared. His aging stopped, reversed slightly. His mortality remained, but stretched, expanded. When the light faded, they collapsed into each other's arms. Rowan's eyes, when she opened them, were neither red nor silver. They were violet. A perfect mix of human and vampire. Kael's were the same. How do you feel? He asked. Rowan took inventory. Her heart beat, but slowly. She could see in the darkness, but the sun didn't burn. She was hungry, but not for blood. For food. For life. Whole, she breathed. I feel whole. Maura stepped back, satisfied. The curse is complete. You have 200 years together. Use them wisely. Vera moved forward. And what about me? I brought them here. Helped them. You orchestrated a 9-year-old's abandonment and tried to murder your king, Maura said flatly. You're lucky I don't turn you inside out. I just wanted his throne. No. You wanted his heart. You've wanted it for 2 centuries. Maura's gaze was piercing. But he never saw you, did he? So you decided if you couldn't have him, no one would. Vera's mask finally cracked. I loved him. Love doesn't destroy. Obsession does. Maura waved her hand. Leave. And if you come near them again, I'll show you what real curses look like. Vera fled without another word. Maura turned back to Kael and Rowan. Go. Build something better than what you came from. Kael helped Rowan to her feet. They were steady now. Strong. Together. As they walked out of the caves, dawn broke over the mountains. For the first time in 400 years, Kael stood in sunlight. It didn't burn. Rowan laced her fingers through his, and they watched the sunrise together. 10 years later, the Thorne Estate had been transformed. The crumbling castle was now a sanctuary. Rooms that had held darkness for centuries now held children. Abandoned kids. Forgotten kids. Kids like Rowan had been. She ran the place with quiet authority, her violet eyes seeing things others missed. She knew which kids needed space and which needed holding. She knew who was running from something and who had nowhere to run to. Kael taught them. Literature. History. Art. Things he'd learned in 400 years of existence, now passed down to children who would never know what he'd been. They didn't have biological children. Couldn't. The curse had taken that possibility. But they had dozens of kids who called them home. On a December night, another child arrived. A girl, maybe 8, with eyes too old for her face. She'd been left at a bus stop 3 towns over. A social worker brought her in, shivering and silent. Rowan knelt in front of her. "What's your name?" The girl didn't answer. "It's okay. You're safe now. I know what it's like to be forgotten." The girl's eyes finally met hers. "You do?" "I do." Rowan held out her hand. "Come on. Let's get you warm." As she led the girl inside, she passed Kael in the hallway. He was graying at the temples now. Lines marked his face. He was aging slowly, but aging. And somehow, that made him more beautiful. He caught her hand as she passed, squeezed gently. She squeezed back. That night, after the new girl was asleep, Rowan stood at the window of their room, looking out at the snow. Kael wrapped his arms around her from behind, his heartbeat steady against her back. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked. "Choosing the bond?" "Every day," he said. She stiffened. "I regret that it took me 400 years to find you. That you had to suffer to get here. That we can't undo the past." He turned her to face him. "But choosing you? Never. Not for a second." Rowan smiled, and it was real and whole and free. "Good answer." They stood together in the window, watching snow fall on the castle that had once held a king's darkness and now held a family's light. Somewhere in the mountains, a child cried. And somewhere in the castle, someone stayed. Because monsters can be made. But they can also be unmade. And sometimes, the people we save are the ones who save us back. If this story made you feel something, drop a comment and tell me what. If you believe broken people can build beautiful things, hit that like button. And if you stayed until the end, thank you for being here. Subscribe for more stories about love that doesn't give up, redemption that costs everything, and families built from ashes. Because everyone deserves someone who stays. Everyone deserves a second chance. And everyone deserves to know that monsters aren't born, they're made, and what's made can be unmade. See you in the next story.